In this video, I'm going to show you the best way to communicate with your remote employees. Okay, so there is lots of ways you communicate these days with your remote employees. Email, Skype, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. There's so many choices and so many ways to do it. Now, when you're first initially starting to interview an online employee for a job, you're most likely going to be communicating to them via email. Now, email's fine, but it's not the most efficient way to actually communicate with your staff. And I'm going to tell you what I actually use. Now, I use a program called Discord. This is absolutely free to use. It's actually, the best way to describe it is it's like Slack for gamers. So Slack's a paid for app. If you've got it in your company or you use it, then keep using it. It's almost the same. Slack is a business class application. It costs money and it starts to ramp up quite a bit as the more employees and staff that you add. Whereas Discord, you can add as many people as you want. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's free. The only thing about Discord is that it is aimed at gamers. So when you initially load it up, it's got some games and stuff like that screen to show you. But what I've found is that ignore all that. Set up your channels, set up all your different ways of speaking your group and so on. Invite your Filipino staff and then you can start communicating in real time. Now, the good thing about it is that, yes, there's a time difference depending on which part of the world you're hiring people from the Philippines. If you're from Australia, then Australia, New Zealand, well, good luck you because you're pretty much in a similar time zone, so there's only a couple of hours of difference. If you're from the UK, you're looking at about an 8-hour difference. Spain, where I'm in, it's 7 hours just now. It does change during summertime because we have British summertime, whereas Filipinos don't. The clock stays the same, so it will change by 1 hour forward, so you'll get closest to the 1 hour. If you're in America, a lot of your Filipinos, if they're doing a daytime shift, are effectively working through the middle of the night. Again, depending on which part of America you're in. So it's not so much real time unless you're hiring someone who's going to work a graveyard shift in the Philippines for you. I don't highly recommend that at all. If you can get away with your staff working, depending obviously what they're doing, if you can get them working away in a time zone or a time period that's more natural to them, be it daytime, afternoon or evening, then you're going to get better work from them. If you're making people work through the night, then generally speaking, the younger people, okay, fine, they can cope with that kind of job for several years before going crazy. But older people with family, especially if they've got young kids, really can't cope with that job over a long period of time, or at least that's the feedback I've been hearing about it. Yep, some people love the graveyard shift, but most people are not night owls. They like to work during the day because they want to spend, evenings or weekends with family and friend. So anyway, Discord. So the good thing about Discord is that as a thought comes to your head, you can go on your computer, type it in, send it off to your Filipino staff. You can use it on your mobile, on your iPad and so on. They can also use it on their mobile, on their computer and so on. And it's a great way for, especially if you've got a couple of hours together during the day or whatever, you can talk to each other in real time. So you can pass information backwards and forwards. You can get them, like one of the things I do is that we have general chat staff. So we have like an off topic for just sort of fun and hanging out, kind of call it the office cooler chat. But basically the idea behind that is that it's just not all work all the time because they are people, they are real people. It's like, it's so easy to treat someone who's on the other side of a screen as like some sort of robot, some sort of AI that does things for you because you never get to meet their VAs in person. I plan to do that this year actually, is going out to meet everybody, but we'll see what's going on with this whole coronavirus thing. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. Now YouTube's not going to like the video. So on Discord, one of the things that you can do is set up different channels. So I set up private channels for each of the staff where I communicate directly with them and they communicate directly with me without anyone seen it. We also have some combined channels. So if, for example, several of my staff are working on a similar project, I put them all in a combined channel so that way they can see what's going on with each other and understand what work's getting done. So what I do is every member of staff at the end of the day posts a short post saying, here's what I done today, this is what I done. So for example, video editors are doing this video, will post up that he has edited this video and it's now ready to go, as an example. Right, so that's a nice, straightforward, easy to do post. Some of the VAs have have different tasks to do during the day, so they'll just list off the tasks that they've done and what they're planning to do the next day they're working. Now, the reason I get them to tell me what they're planning to do the next day they're working is that this will allow me to look at it and go, well, I don't want you working on that, I want you working on this, working on something different or whatever. But generally speaking, they usually are following a pattern of what I'm expecting them to work on, and so I know what's actually happening in advance, because that's generally set. The week or month in advance is generally set, hey, what you're doing. Some jobs are just the same kind of job over and over and over, so there's nothing to set. You just, all you're expecting to see is, oh, that was done today, this is the progress we're at, this is what's getting done tomorrow. And it's just a quick oversight. It's a good way of seeing what's going on, because remember, you're not in the office with the other staff, they're all working remotely. I actually do this same process with my other staff in Spain and other staff in the UK. We all just put in a quick brief overview. It gives me an insight of what's going on. So for example, back in Glasgow, I've got an office in Scotland, and staff there let me know how many incoming calls, how many outgoing calls they've done, how many emails they received that day, how many emails out they've done, and so on. And this just gives me a brief overview of what's going on, so I can keep an eye on things that I would be aware of if I was sitting in the office, but because I'm not, I want to still be aware of them. But it gives me that chance to say, right, well, actually, we should maybe put more resources towards X, Y, and Z, depending on what comes in. So yeah, so Discord, I'll put the link in the description below. Completely free program. If you've never used it before, there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to set up a Discord server and what actually happens. It's fairly easy to secure it, and only people who you invite can get into the channels that you've put up the invite links for, and so on. You can set settings for staff, so certain people can see only certain channels or have only ability to see or interact with certain people or certain things. It's entirely up to you. There is a small curve of understanding to get up and running with it, but it isn't that hard. And like I said, there are videos on YouTube that explain how to do that. I mean, if people really wanted me to go into a video of how I set up Discord for my Filipino staff to use, then I'm quite happy to do that at some point, show you some examples of what I actually do. But yeah, so best way to communicate, get Discord. It's free, it's easy to use, everybody can get access to it. It's got a voice and video capability for sharing screens and so on. So there's, you can upload images, pictures, documents, PDFs, all sorts of things can get shared with it. So I highly recommend it. If you've got the money, or if you're already using it, Slack's other alternative that you can use. I don't personally use it, just simply because I've been using Discord now for, I think it's close on 6 years, 5 years. Whenever it came out, I literally used it from that point, because quite a lot of my gaming buddies actually used it as well, and it was something that we moved away from TeamSpeak and onto Discord. I think everybody done that. So yeah, check that out. So if you do like these kind of videos, please give me a like. If you've not already done so, subscribe to the channel. It lets me know that people are actually interested in these videos. Share it if you can. If you've got any friends who would be interested in finding out more of what it's like to hire people from the Philippines, what you have to do, then that would be really great and really helpful for the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.